YouTube. Hello, how's it going? Here, the quick little rundown, the quick little recap, if you will. I recently, I think the past month or two, replayed Little Nightmares, which I hadn't played in 4 years. It was great again. Then I played the DLC, did not like it. I tried streaming it twice, and I didn't like it both times. Then, 2 days ago, I finally played Little Nightmares 2 for the first time, and I absolutely loved it. Then we watched some lore videos. I'm all Little Nightmares up right now, okay? So, there's another game. Only a couple hours long. Very Little Nightmares. It's on Android and iOS. I was gonna stream it on, like, try to get it on the Google Play Store, then stream it with BlueStacks, all this, but then it's like, oh, the 32-bit version is not great. The 64-bit version, I need to mess with my BIOS. I said, you know what? It's not even my type of game. I just want to see it and know the lore. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna watch a playthrough on YouTube, okay? So it's an hour and 10 minutes long. We'll check this out, and then we'll start Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. So let's switch scenes here. No subs, no emotes, no badges, no sub-only chats, no discourse, no priority, playing with viewers, no ad-free viewing, only pain. Oh, okay. McGee, thanks for the 59 months. I'll replay your alert, even though, honestly, I don't think you deserve it anymore. Chris? GFI yourself? We're starting strong.
Free money!
Getting bullied by both Chris and McGee. Fucking slam, brother. Slam. So, first of all, this is...
Free money!
This is free money, courtesy of Chris. So we got two primers in chat. McGee with the 59, Chris with the 81 together. That is 376 months. Thank you very much for the prime, my boy. So this is V Gaming with a 1 in the gaming. Because they're a gamer, obviously. That's a gamer thing to do. 223,000 subs. Let's go. Almost as much as me. And 500,000 views? Bruh, GG. So yeah, this is Very Little Nightmares. This is a mobile game. And we're gonna pause this. We're gonna check that. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I wanna see the lore. I saw a couple of the characters that are exclusively in this game, and they are super cool. So again, this is not my gameplay. I wonder... Yeah, can you only play, like how Lightspeed watches movies on TikTok? I guess it actually works out perfectly for the, chat and the camera. You tell it's not your gameplay? I haven't even moved! Brother! They were on the main menu! That's you guys running away when I come and smack you on the butt for this insubordination. Get the fuck out of here, you little gnomes. Little troll boys. Go on now, get. Oh. Alright, how's the audio? Is it a little bit loud? Or are we good? Yeah, I'm glad that we're watching this. This is so, it's so interesting that they decided to make this. Xenoverse 2 is super easy completion. Is it? It's just long as hell, no? Okay, that was right. So was that a jacket? That was a Jack in the Box of Roger, the janitor. I also Man, McGee, I hope that you're stuck at a red light, you see a cutie, and you two lock eyes and fall in love. Get fucked, homie. Get fucked, bro. What, you thought shit was sweet? Hey, chat, do you like my new t-shirt? My ghost shirt that's super off-center? Look at this. Bro, it's so off-center. But it's nice, though. Papa must have been sipping from the spillways when he printed it, let me tell you. Oh, bye now. Tap on the cage to climb down. Okay. So yeah, it's really cool that they chose something with this art style and this gameplay. And then I think they actually brought... That bothers me too much. Yeah, I didn't notice when I bought it. This is the first time I'm wearing it. I was washing my hands and I was like, what the fuck? So this is not even like a speed run. Whatever. For an hour and 10 minutes. I highly okay. Wait. Let's just see. Very Little Nightmares speedrun. I highly doubt that there's a speedrun of this game. I was just gonna say also, there's a oh shit, Very Little Nightmares world record 42.46. But are they skipping stuff? Let's just keep the one that we're doing, just in case there's like glitching and maybe skipping cutscenes if there are any. This is what I was gonna say. I was also looking. The 1 hour speedrun is very tight, but now, oh, this is only a month ago. Apparently, you could speedrun this in like half an hour, 33 minutes. One of the first here, I'll show you guys real quick. One of the first skips. I was like, bro, this is so nasty. Also, there's stamina in this game. There's like a whole stamina system. Yeah, look.
Once under 10% and exhausted state, with each state causing 6 to control slower and more sluggish.
So when I saw that, I was like, you know how I keep saying that the only thing I don't like in Little Nightmares is the controls aren't as tight as I wish they would be? This video even specifies like if you're climbing up something, or pushing something, I think it was, if you hold the sprint button, it doesn't affect the speed, but it does drain your stamina. So I'm wondering if I was, like, maybe the game does handle better than I thought it did. It's just that I'm always like sprinting, and I just never noticed there was a stamina thing. I don't know.
All walking run button, and it's a good time to rest up. Runs up these fires. This bed out, and here we actually get the first of many tricks for the speedrun. So normally here, you have to pull this chair along close enough to the door so you can then climb on it and jump towards the door handle to open it up. But we're speedrunning, so we can just run onto this raised up plank in the back right of the room here, and if you jump off at the right spot, you'll actually get enough height to still grab the handle and open up the door.
That shit is always so crazy to me. That's so sick. Bro, I have like the audio on like 1% and it's still booming. But yeah, some of the character designs in Very Little Nightmares, because there's characters that like I assume the janitor's back. We at least just saw him pop up in a Jack in the Box, but there are some characters like the Pretender and so on and so forth that are exclusive to this game. I saw 2 or 3 enemies in this because I watched a video on like all the adults in Little Nightmares, and it was pretty crazy. They're nasty. And yeah, speedrunners are crazy. There's got to be some stuff that probably translates to a lot of games. It's like a game will be out for like 3 hours and people are already running it. Like, it's insane. Watch that guy. Remember we were watching that guy that speedran like the Souls games and I think Only Up and stuff. Like, this dude just speedruns everything. There's got to be some shit that he knows like to look for and see if it still works, you know? Little corners that look like, oh, I could probably bounce off this or whatever. How's the audio? Is the game too loud compared to me, or are we good? That seemed very loud. Oh, speaking of volume, let's test this and make sure it works.
Hell yeah, suck toes.
Yeah, okay, that looks pretty good. What the hell was that? Okay. Who is that? Oh, so this is the collectible of the Jack in the Boxes. Dude, I actually started mopping up Little Nightmares 2 last night. I got 2 out of 4 glitch children in chapter 1, and the 2 I missed were so well hidden. I was like, bro, how do people find this shit? Luckily, Mac has a guide, teehee. And I don't have to replay chapter 5, I don't think, so that's nice. I have to do 2, 3, 4, and 2 is long as fuck, unfortunately, but whatever. So just to finish that and play through Hellblade 2 is going to take me forever. Okay. Notice how this guy's legs are backwards? Like, he's in a wheelchair, so he's not using them anyways, but they're backwards. It's so creepy. so creepy. Okay, so the key functions like Little Nightmares 1 where you have to carry it. Instead of Little Nightmares 2 where you just put it, you just like carry it on your person. Keep it moving. What a little asshole. I freed you. Alright, we got a little Nome. I was just gonna say, like, don't crush the gnome, please. Oh, that's a little Among Us character. Not a backpack. It's definitely a crewmate, shipmate, whatever they're called. I see, I see. The game is so basic. Another one.
I'm back.
She's back. Turn with the 83-month resub. One more for the 7-year alert that has not yet been seen on stream. I think she'll be the first to get it. I think she's also one of like 2 people that's seen it. If I recall correctly. Okay, we got the eyes again. Of course, but of course. Tron, thanks for the resub. How you doing? What's up, girl? Oh no. This is so interesting. So what I was gonna say before is the fact that we've had the 2 games. Also, there's been gameplay shown for 3 recently, like 12 minutes or something. I didn't watch it. I don't want to know anything. I already saw characters and stuff. I didn't want to see shit. That's actually one thing I didn't like too much about the Little Nightmares 2 cover, is that it shows a bunch of the bosses. I'm hoping 3 keeps that shit more secret. Yeah, there's gameplay already. I had no idea. I'm like, when the fuck did this come out and where? Like, I didn't hear anything about that. And then when I was like looking for like speedruns and stuff, it's just like Little Nightmares 3, 12 minutes of gameplay or whatever. It's like, what? Eternal, this is why you get bullied online, you know? Maybe if your gender... bro, chat. The shit that Eternal's been getting online just because she wrote that X-Defiant is not good and it's not a Call of Duty killer. People telling her to keep herself safe and such. Pretty wild, man. I didn't even rate it that bad. But you are the devil, so... These motherfuckers are such losers, man. You gave it 60%? Really? Fuck, the way they're acting, you'd think you gave it 6%. Also, like, it's just one review, not to put you down, but it's one review out of like 1 million. Like, I'm sure they'll live. Anyways. Yeah, so there's Little Nightmares 1 and 2, and then 3. I don't want to say anything. Again, I just saw a couple of characters and already I was like, slam. But, I assume this person's just tapping on the screen, logically. Also, yeah, is the audio okay? That's not too loud when that happens? But, yeah, this is like a completely different art style. Even though it's the same art style, you know what I mean? But I wonder, like... I know this is a comic, and now I want it. But I wonder... Do they have, like, dolls of the monsters and shit? Like, I feel like you could probably merchandise this game really well. Rude guy gets it. Rude guy gets it. Also, we gotta show YouTube my spicy little edit. Look what I did, YouTube. It's me. I'm the new and improved teacher. And I don't detect sound, I detect the smell of toes. Eternal, there was one night, speaking of Twitter mentions, where, you know how I follow many unclothed people, but I don't ever like or comment on their stuff so it doesn't like show on you guys' feeds? There was one night where I was drinking and I was like, should I just go like on a rampage and then just tomorrow see if anybody's like, bro, are you okay? Or like, why is my page just flooded with titties? And then I was like, you know what? Knowing my luck, it'll be Eternal. We'll like open Twitter with her kids around. Like, Mom, is that a black hole? No, that's a spread. Okay. Okay now. I bought Xenoverse 2 on Xbox so we could do the multiplayer sometime for the Achieves. Yeah, we could yeah, we can do that. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Hell yeah. This is what Lightspeed's meth room looks like. Whoa, whoa now, whoa now. I was reading a Cozy Grove tweet and scrolled down, boom, full nip. Is that did that happen in the back in the day? And I probably just forgot the Twitter today? Oh, okay, so it's not my fault. Well, that's the thing, you can't check replies anymore. On anything. It could be like, look, Barney season 72 is out. And my nudes in bio, and it's just like fucking full-blown boning. I literally can't check Twitter or Instagram in public, and I always forget. That's the problem, because I always like you guys know me. I can't do notifications and shit, and like obviously I'm like super popular and famous. I get like 3 notifications a day on everything combined, so like you boys made it is what I'm trying to say. But even if it's just like that, like I check, even if there's no notifications, I check all my shit like one by one, and I every time I forget it. I, like go on the bus and I'm like, nope, but nope. Also, did you guys know that there was a DLC for Little Nightmares 2? It's in the Hunter's Cabin. There's an extra area, and it's all like a gnome thing. Oh, that's true. You get like achievements on iOS, the Game Center. I only have the following thing on Twitter. I refuse to see the normal public shit. Or you mean like you only click on the following thing? Because you can't just disable the for you, can you? Can you now? Because I hate it. It's fucking awful. It's all just fucking racist shit and all this. I'm like, bro, all the for you stuff is all just like right-wing shit. I'm like, well, this is not for me. On the web, if you click following, it saves on following. I mean, it does until it decides to change. And then I just like randomly see somebody get shot, and I'm like, oh, good thing I'm desensitized. Have you not seen that? You guys are lucky. Yeah, I've seen people just die. Only on trending on accident? Yeah, it's just like it's wild. Oh, Eternal, look. At least you're doing better than this guy. He's in a chair, but his legs are backwards, too. Oh no, Eternal. And then you watched it and you shared it? That's fucked up, dude. You're part of the problem. Eternal, if we take away Arcane. Yeah, I'm glad you said it because I was going to, but now I don't feel bad. Whoa now, whoa now. I could swear I put my drawing tablet somewhere. Whoa now, whoa now. Are you gonna leave ever? The audio's okay? I know I've asked like 5 times, but... Audio good, yes? Okay, thank you. Yeah, Eternal rules. Like I told her in the DMs, she's cool Cole. You know what I mean? Oh, I see the tiles are cracked, which means they're gonna either make noise or break. I'd assume break is considering there's like a level below them. This is a really cool game. So I wonder, the laundry all looks like this kid's size, right? Is this for all the fucking imprisoned kids? That's a lot of clothes, man. I wonder though, we never found, because they turned the kids into gnomes, right? I wonder like why. What is that fucking noise? And a few people I hung out with when I was too sick to human for a few years. This is he misses you every so often. Aw. Oh, I was actually just thinking about that the other day. I wanted to join party chat, but I was so tired, and I saw Studio was on, and I was like, man, I haven't heard that beautiful man's voice in a minute. Nome! Okay. What the fuck is this noise? Is that, it's not the wheelchair guy or the gnome, right? What is this? Oh, was it the gnome creaking the wood? I love their little run animation. And in the normal Little Nightmares, they look almost like claymation or something. They're like stop motion, right? Because they're not like smooth. The gnomies are the best. True. Ew. Oh, one of the adults that we didn't see in Little Nightmares 2, or at least I didn't notice, is the lunch lady. She's like obviously in the school, right? I wonder, Little Nightmares 2 lunch lady. I didn't even notice. Yeah, here. That's the dead lunch lady. That's the concept art. She is nasty. It's me for real. But yeah, she's just clapped. Oh yeah, this guy just like pictures everywhere. He was like scrapped. The barber, like ew. But oh, that's what I was gonna show you. The Little Nightmares 2 Gnome DLC, Gnome's Attic. That's it. So it's, yeah, all of this stuff. It's like 5 minutes. This DLC is like $7. So I'm like, why? But just basically in a hunter's cabin, you know, like this whole area. It's this part here. When you have to like climb this to get the key, this gnome now shows up, and if you follow it, it's like a whole thing. Because I don't think there were gnomes in the second game besides that, right? If I remember correctly. I guess it is a prequel, and they haven't gone to the maw yet, so maybe the gnomes are only on the ship. Actually, no, because of the DLC that completely... 1 and 2 with just in the background. And actually, and this game is before... this is the first one. It goes Very Little Nightmares 2 and then 1. So never mind. I guess they just didn't put as many. But yeah, the Gnomies rule. Hopefully the third game is just gnomes. Oh, these all boxes with kids? What is in the box? Maybe not kids, no, because he was doing laundry and shit, right? But then what would he be shipping? Unless he's shipping children to the maw? There's actually an achievement like that in Little Nightmares 2. In chapter 1. When he reaches the hunter's cabin, if you try to open the fridge, there's an achievement called What's in the Box. Love a girl. Alright. A little Gnomerella. Yeah, I love the little animation. Oh, there's paper planes. I thought they were all fucking dead gnomes. I was like, homie, what the hell is this? 7 out there just fucking up an entire generation of creatives, right? Eternal. I came up with a game theory today, right? You know how Sleep Token, you wear masks and hoods and stuff? There's Vessel, and then there's 2, 3, and 4, right? And then when Bring Me the Horizon had 4 join Ollie on stage to do Antivist, Ollie wore one of the masks and called himself 5. And then you notice it's 6. Her name is 6, and she wears a hood and covers her face. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The math is mathin'. Just a theory. Mad Pat retired. I gotta take over, and that's my first one. Prove me wrong. The monster energy is of the devil. If you look at the 3 lines upside down, it's the Egyptian symbol for devil. Really, rude guy? How are they that rich if they're that dumb? Maybe this one will just be smart enough to close the door. Do you think they think that Rose's pendant is actually there? Saves us from eating the rich if they off their damn selves. Good, they're too bitter. But yeah, but then... I mean, if I'm in their will, sure. Otherwise, I mean... Oh, that's cool. That's clever. I just remembered when I was watching... I gotta watch more, but when I was watching highlights of Kunk, Philomena Kunk, there was one... You know how I just like... I find mispronouncing words on purpose is funny. At one point she calls William Shakespeare Will.I.am Shakespeare. And it was so simple, but it got me so bad. Also, that's the butler. He floats, has telekinesis, and his arms are behind his back and they're shackled. Like, who comes up with these fucking designs? The dude in the wheelchair with the backwards legs and then this butler, like, bruh. Also, one thing I didn't notice is that not only are the kids incredibly small compared to the adults, to give you an extra sense of vulnerability, but they also don't wear shoes. Six, Mono, and the runaway kid all don't wear shoes, which, yeah, logically would be to give a sense of vulnerability. Also, the sound effects are just that much more real. Hearing the pitter-patter, and I saw one person say it subconsciously. It just gives you the impression that they'd be easier to get hurt, right? Because they don't have anything protecting their feetsies, their little toesies. Yeah, there's so much broken shit around. Like right now, she just broke like 15 light bulbs. The water is on electric. They could step on glass or a screw. Or they could step on a shoe. There's so many shoes in these games. I still don't understand that. There's the shoe monster, which I forgot about. Tetanus is a killer. I don't understand what ringing ears has to do with what we're talking about, but okay. But, I thought you said the adults didn't wear shoes. Now I'm on a list. Oh yeah, you're going to jail. Yeah, I totally forgot there was like a shoe monster in the first game, and there's just like a room full of shoes. And then in the DLC, as a runaway kid, you could actually use like a ring camera to see 6 in that room. Shoes always reminded me of Holocaust imagery. Well, that's like now that we've played 2, do you think it's because they all just like got sucked up? In the city, I assume it's like they got sucked up, like the ones that they're just absorbed by TV. But actually, now that I think of it, on the ship, it makes even more sense because the lady like absorbs their energy to stay young, right? But then her reflection is of the granny. Because I was reading a thing where it's like her reflection is what she actually looks like, but then she's like younger because she sucks the energy of others, which is why she does it. She's like obsessed with her reflection with her mask. So I guess the shoes could just be all the people she sucked up? I don't know. A lot of sucking going on. Sounds like a fun place. That seems like a very impractical way to handle a door. Sounds like Saturday to me. Hey, yo! Channel out here living our best life, dude. Slurpy Saturdays. Let's go, dude. Dude, the match is as big as her, po thing. If she dies in a fire. It's a match made in heaven. Oh, it's fine. Thanks, McGee. Are you home or are you still driving? And then, like I said, after this, we'll start Xenoverse 2. Just got home. Hell yeah. McGee, later than a period after prom. Hey, yo! Let the man drive. He was getting supplies to mow his lawn tomorrow and Friday and Saturday. We always act like Lightspeed is the Mo thing, but according to Chris, it's McGee. Theory of a Dant Man. That's awesome. Did you have the sound playing while you were driving? Swerving in a Suburban, listening to Shizzy Hollywood. Pulls up at a red light. Granny looks over. It's me just cussing. Why is this so loud, bro? This is creepy as fuck. This is like some Binding of Isaac shit. It's awesome, McGee. I hope you got lost less than my train of thought did. Your boy was all over the place, let me tell you. $200k subs, your audio skills. But not necessarily the Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's not that bad. Although, man, it's crazy how. Actually, I could literally show you. Check this. This is my opera slider. So this is at what the volume is at. This is 0. This is 100. We're at like 5% and it's this loud. This game is cool. I'm glad that we're watching it though, because it's not like I would not really enjoy playing it as much. God, the granny is so gross. She's so gross. That was fast, Jesus. A little thing that's got burnt up legs now. Okay, yeah, so that's a gnome. What a weird sound. But now, why are there gnomes on the ship? Is it just to do the menial tasks, like the coal, to keep the ship running and shit? Like we saw in the Hideaway DLC? Like, I wonder why. And then I wonder if my theory is correct, because we saw, like, the... Actually, no, this takes place before Little Nightmares 2, because like I said, I saw the gnome hats on, like, normal kids, the bullies, in the school. So I was like, maybe they created the gnomes? But no, because they exist here. I wonder if there's literally a video, like, gnomes explained, because that's my... Right now, it's my biggest question. Look, there's just a hand on the sink. Oh. At least turn it off, you're wasting water. Kids in Africa would love to eat that gnome. I mean, drink that water. Alright, see you later. I wonder how this person recorded this, if this was, BlueStacks. No, because this is iOS, right? I could have technically... Oh. Could have technically done it with Reflector, but it lags a lot now. I feel like when I first got Reflector, there was like no latency. But... now it's, not the case. Although I wonder if that would affect the capture. I guess if it's delayed on screen, as long as the video and audio are synced, it doesn't really matter. That would be so awkward though to stream. If I was playing this game right now like this. I guess it's not the worst, but it's just bizarre. Also, right, I was just thinking, I'm like, where the fuck is this? This is on an island, on a mansion that looks like it's gonna tip over. Oh, I know, Eternal. It's bizarre to think about it for streaming. Wait, now I'm curious. Hold up. Let's just do a quick test. I'm pretty sure the latency was gross. We're gonna give it the old college try. Portrait mode. Well, how else are we gonna watch movies on TikTok? Yeah, it's super light. Look, see if I show you here, right? I mean, it's not super laggy, but it's laggy enough that like it's laggy. But again, I guess if as long as the audio and video synced, it wouldn't matter. Right? Because like I'd be looking at my phone anyway, so it wouldn't bother me. So as long as it was synced for you guys, it's just I don't know. I'd have to mess with it. I'd also have to see. Maybe after the stream, I'll just put like a YouTube video on to see if they sync and if it gets desynced or anything, just for the future. All right, I gotta stop pausing because otherwise, this 1 hour video is gonna take 2 hours, and then we're gonna have no time for Xenoverse. This is a really cool game, though. I really like the creativity behind it. But now, like I said, I'm curious. Like, I kind of want to get the comic, and I kind of want to see like T-shirts and stuff. That like that's easy, right? Because this game's got good art. But I wonder like if they have crazy merch for this series. Like it'd be crazy if they had fucked up dolls of like imagine like the like dolls of the chefs. If you really want to make sure that your kid grows up to be a fucking freakazoid. Like the shoe monster all over again. Coming for them grippers, honey. Coming for them grippers. Can I capture it with lightning or USB-C to HDMI dongles? I was actually wondering that. I was at Best Buy yesterday. I had time to kill, and I was looking. I'm gonna show you the most shiz thing in the world. Okay. I don't do this now. For you know, I have like the white outline. For my reacts thumbnails. I was gonna just do it natively in OBS, but see when I'm like playing normally, you don't notice all this shit. But for some reason here, I was like, well, this is dumb because this side it's fine. So that means that this side I need to fix this, right? And I was like, okay, maybe it's just like I need to have a light here. So I was like, I wonder if like if I just put a not a flashlight, but like an LED like little box, if that's possible, like a portable LED. Put it under the corner of the bed and just blast on that one spot. And then while I was there, I was like, oh, maybe I could just play Very Little Nightmares if I find an adapter. But yeah, see, like, you don't see any. If I change the black to white, like even with a completely white thing, like you don't see any shadow or anything. So I'm like, where does that come from? But again, you literally don't see it, so it's just like it's just me being me. Where it's like in my head, I know that there's something there. But what I was gonna say was like while I was there, I was looking at it. And first of all, those adapters are like $70 Canadian. It's disgusting. Apple TV and AirPlay to the Apple TV. That's the thing. I was like, all these solutions seem very fucking expensive. You know, considering that in my 10 years of streaming, I've tried streaming mobile games once or twice. It's just even for like a $50 adapter, I'm like, eh, you know. But So yeah, I don't know, like let's say if I were to plug the charging cable to my PC, would that be enough that I could just capture the screen? I don't think so, right? A USB-C to HDMI dongle would probably make sense, because then you mean like you run it through the capture card? That's why, like I said, the easiest thing seemed like BlueStacks. Because then you're running it like natively through an emulator instead of like a capture software. But then I would have had to mess around with my BIOS. And to be fair, it didn't seem complicated. Those chefs are so gross. It didn't seem complicated. It was just like it was late, and I was like, And also, I'm just like, I'm not that much of a PC guy that I trust myself to mess around with BIOS. That stuff scares me. Especially as a streamer, you know? Plus, I had already said we were playing Xenoverse, so I was like, you know what? It seems like the fastest, easiest, cheapest, and honestly most fun solution is to just watch somebody else play this for an hour. Instead of me probably not really like the gameplay for 3 hours. Is that people falling from the... what the fuck? There it is. This is super cool, though. I wonder, is it the same devs that did this, or is it a different dev team? Because sometimes they do that too, right? Maybe controls might feel weird using mouse clicks instead of touch. I was thinking about that, but I feel like for a game like this, judging by how it's doing, I feel like it's probably the same thing, right? You would just be clicking like that. I guess it depends on the game. I feel like for this game, it would be totally fine. It would translate perfectly. I feel like a game... some games, though, yeah, like, imagine playing, like, NBA on this. Right, and instead of like, I don't know, like holding the screen to shoot like a 3 or something, you have to like hold them out. I don't know how it works. I've never used... I think I used BlueStacks. Actually, I think I tried to use it once and it didn't work. Or... wait, was there an NBA game on Android with achievements? Why I said NBA and I'm having like crazy deja vu. Did I ever try to play like an NBA game on BlueStacks or something? I think it's literally so long ago that it was on my old PC, because like the thing I had where it was like the 32-bit or this thing that I have to do in BIOS that I didn't trust. I don't remember ever doing that. I feel like I installed it and ran it, that was it. But and even at that, maybe it was on... I think I saw it's a Windows 11 thing, not necessarily like this PC is too new type thing. I don't fucking remember. Child! You better run. I have this very long coat hanger. You know? The length is to make up for the age. Let's just... Come on, little Nome. Come on, little Nome. This game is so creepy, bro. Only time I've seen a streamer use BlueStacks is when he was having chat guide his Tinder. That's funny. Yeah, I could have asked Runeby, but I feel like I asked her about something else recently, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to... I mean, I always try to do my research first anyways. And it's only if I really can't figure it out that I ask somebody, because I know I personally can't stand it when it's the opposite. At least if it's simple. If it's something complicated, I don't mind. But like, I remember one person, I literally would give them shit about never, like, always just running to me to ask questions. Instead of, like, at least putting some effort. And then he asked me how to set up the Discord overlay. And literally, if you Google Discord overlay, it's the first result. So I was like, oh, wow. Like, I know you didn't do any effort, and you just like, oh, Shizzle fixed it. Shizzle, no. So I was like, bro, you suck. So yeah, sometimes it's just like, or if it's something, like let's say Ray and Arunbi do a lot of randomizers and mods, and they have for years. So for that, I'm like, okay, like, I could try to Google, like, what's a safe site for mods? That for something like that, I'm like, okay, B has played 28 mods a day for 4 years. I'm just like, yo, B, what site do you use? I had actually, you know what, now that I say that, I remember asking her, because before Stray came to Xbox, I almost streamed it on PC and I was looking for some cursed mods. But the only really cursed one was fucking CJ from GTA, which I saw, actually that's why, because I saw Super Mega play, and they had CJ, and it was so unbelievably cursed, but then everything else was like Garfield, or just people's cats, which is like adorable. But I was hoping for something like, imagine like General Grievous and Stray, you know? That'd be wild. But it's like, okay, instead of the orange cat, you have a Siamese cat. Cool, man. Look how creepy this butler is. His head completely down, his arms locked behind his back, he's floating and he's using telekinesis. Eternal, be real. Is this how you make my emotes? Be real. We're not gonna judge you, weirdo. I mean, we're not gonna judge you. Why is this like base boosted? Wait, I thought it was the other dude that was washing everything. Unless that was clothes and the butler's doing... No, this is clothes. Oh. This is so creepy. Is having chat guide his Tinder. So, like, what, they made the profile, or were they, like, swiping left or right, or... Dude. You know what would be so toxic? You know when Ray has, like, bit wars for, like, what color Spyro are we gonna be? Oh, the lady. You do the Tinder thing, and you have a bit war for if you swipe left or right. That looks sick. What, this game? It's dope. Again, I don't think I would really enjoy playing it, but watching it is cool. How you doing, Ray? What's up, man? You got the motherfucking key to the city. This is so neat. I really like the music. Again. Just a little Nightmares rules. Why is it like base boosted? Chill. That... Okay. How did you not get caught? Oh, dude. What a crazy character design. Dude, tell him where to swipe and he would have to make intros. I just remember Twitch had to ban that. Yeah, no kidding. You just like kind of harass people with like some super inappropriate and cursed shit. You have completed 60% of the game. Okay. No hands. Watching B play Paper Mario. She does now have time to watch Shizzy. Cool, cool, cool. Thanks for stopping by. How was Paper Mario? I never played it back in the day, so it's been tempting, and then especially seeing her play it, I'm like, man, I kind of want to, but I don't know. I think it's another one of those games where by the time I have time to play it, nobody will care. So I'm like, eh. So already this week is going to be Xenoverse 2, and then next week I have to figure out what I'm going to do Tuesday, Wednesday, but next week's planned. Also, isn't that Testing Your Door or whatever super long? Sorry. It's a good RPG. Everyone loves it. So I don't know if it aged well. I assume so. Nintendo games tend to age well. 40 hours. That seems to be a lot of pipes to go absolutely nowhere. What? Bro. Could at least give the kid some spinach or something. I wonder what this character's name is. I don't remember if I don't remember if we know. So I don't want to spoil anything for those of you that are seeing this for the first time. Because on Sunday after I finished Little Nightmares 2, I watched a couple of lore videos. So I already know like the story and stuff for this game. Which is why I wanted to watch this. I love also sometimes in games like this, like even if the guy had telekinesis, no way would he leave the screwdriver up there on that top shelf above the door. That's fucked. Oof. Are those cocoons of fucking kids? That'd be so creepy. Mm-hmm. Oh, that music is so creepy. Dude, I'm like actually so jacked up for Little Nightmares 3 now. I hope that it comes out on a Friday. And it's like 5-6 hours again. Although, I would probably just stream it on the Saturday. Just to be sure that I had enough time for a one shot if that were the case. But we're definitely playing Little Nightmares 3 on launch if it actually drops this year, hopefully. Oh, that's cute. God, I love the Nomies. No, I'm not. I'm actually not into horror at all. I don't know why Little Nightmares intrigued me when I played it like 4 years ago or something. But in general, I'm not like I'll play some horror games every now and then, but it's just because it makes for funny streams. Like I've played at this point I've played like half of the Resident Evils, so I want to play all of them. Even though while I'm playing them, I'm miserable because it's just scary as fuck. But Silent Hill looks so slow and shit. I feel like I don't know. I don't think I would like Silent Hill. Silent Hill feels like one of those things to me where I feel like Silent Hill 2 remake might not be great if you haven't played the original. I don't know. Whereas like let's say Resident Evil 2 remake. Again, actually, if it's a remake rather than a remaster, maybe I'm just talking about out of my ass. Because Resident Evil 2 remake, let's say, made the game completely modern and it was amazing. Maybe. I guess I'd have to look more into it. I don't know. When does it come out? On Thursday, they're supposed to announce it? Oh, okay. Oh, here's a hairdryer, there's a bathtub. Oh! We can speedrun the game! This base is crazy, bro. Oh, another little Nomi. Mm-hmm. Chat, that's you guys when I go live, right? Right? Oh, audio, please. That's so cute. Reaction streams now, bro's so good he doesn't even need to play now. It's called content farming. Maybe you've heard of it, dude. And in 2 years, I'm gonna react to this reaction. I actually, you know what? I haven't had time to do it. I meant to do it before seeing Sleep Token, but I still have to listen to do Shizzy reacts to their EPs. You know? And actually, I wanted to react to more speedruns. Oh, maybe that's what we could do next week on Tuesday or Wednesday. I want to react to some Tomb Raider speedruns. So maybe one night we do 2 or 3 speedruns, and then one day we play a game. Because then Friday is Summer Game Fest or whatever the hell. And then the weekend is... who knows? Who knows? Redacted, as it were. Cakes, how you doing, man? Welcome back, by the way. Oh, I thought that was a Jack in the Box. Okay. I got bamboozled. Smeckledorfed. That butler is so fucking creepy, guy. Is that like an intercom? Hi? Bro, who are those chairs for? Unless that's storage. Oh, is this why she's called the Pretender? Because she's like pretending to have friends or a tea party or something? She's Dave Grohl. What if she says that she'll never surrender, you know what I mean? The Summer Game Fest isn't a cringe fest, but it's like that every year. It's always so cringy, dude. And I don't, like, I honestly, I don't understand who that's for, because, like, obviously everything is made dumb because people are dumb, but, like, there's a limit where I'm like, who the fuck is watching this? Like, yay! Like, remember the one with Yuri and Laura Bailey, and he was like, now Laura's gonna do a rap, and she's like, no, and I was like, who was like, rap, Laura, rap, do it, please. The lineup for the company's turning up is low-key fire. I didn't. Turned it up, dude. This is creepy as fuck. You seen the Doom thing? I did. That's the thing that sucks, man. Everything leaks. Like, imagine how cool something like Summer Game Fest would be without these fucking leaks all the time. But like, how many E3? I mean, E3 is dead now, rest in peace. But like, it's been like 8 E3s in a row where like we know half the shit. It's so annoying. But obviously I'm excited because Doom fucking rips. Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal are absolutely goated. I mean, COD Game Pass Day one. That's 100% one of the main reasons they bought Activision, right? But imagine, already, everyone I mean, to be fair, every game is broken on launch, and then everyone complains. But like online shooters, any online game, day one obviously, because it's like it's too expensive to have all the servers that they're only going to need for 1 or 2 days. So it's better to just like let people complain, let it be a shit show. In 2 days, no one remembers, no one cares, and it works like it should, and whatever. But so it's always the same, right? It's like it gets bombarded, everyone complains, it's the worst thing ever, kill yourself, blah blah blah. But now that's going to be on Game Pass, and people are playing it for like free TM, it's going to be a fucking nightmare. Absolutely. Because there's going to be so many people, it's going to be absolutely not sustainable, and then people are going to say that it's Xbox's fault. I could already see the tears, bro. Wonder how many people will sign up for COD. I would imagine a lot, right? Because like most people only play like COD and like, you know, and like FIFA. If it's like your one game, obviously way cheaper to get a monthly Game Pass than to buy a COD. But I guess if it's your one game that you're always playing, you'll want to own it. For me, it's gonna be awesome because like I'll play the campaign, I'll try the multiplayer a couple times, and then I'll move on. That reminds me, I actually have a few more CODs to stream. And Eternal, I can't wait. Okay, remind me. I'm gonna put it right here. Nome Lore. 10 minutes. I wanna figure like why. We know that the kids got turned into gnomes, but I want to know why. Because in my thing, they're either food because we saw like the feast. You know, everyone's trying to eat you. But if they're food, you'd think that because they're smaller, that they would be less valuable as food than just a kid. And then, if the other one is, I was saying how they like shovel the coal into the fire. Again, you'd think that if a kid is twice the size of a gnome, it's probably stronger and a better worker, and it'd be better at shoveling coal than a gnome. Like, so like I don't understand why gnomes. And I'll tell you right now, Hicks, because I have thumbnails. Modern Warfare 1 remastered. Real? That's actually not edited. I was there. And then Modern Warfare 3 OG. Once again, I was there. I'm him. I don't know if that's the only ones. That's the only thumbnails I have ready. Yeah, the speedrun achievement's the only one I don't have. It's so brutal because you could also do like the cloud cheese. My biggest thing is like, if you memorize it, the 1 hour is like one thing. It's tight though. Although I just found last night a 33-minute speedrun. It's more that like I don't trust the controls to not die. But besides that, you can still get a lot, bro. I just because I just played the DLCs. The DLCs are worth crazy. I think I'm at what, like 1,800 out of 2,000? Oh, she all mad because you ruined her tea party? Let's see here. Oh no, it was before the scavenger hunt and all the demos. How am I gonna find this? $2,000 out of 2,200. I was the king of putting his face on bodies. Thanks, man. Did you see the one I put in Discord of me on the teacher? But honestly, I make myself laugh at those fucking thumbnails. It's so fun. Yeah, this is an iOS/Android game. So I was saying earlier, it was gonna be such a pain in the ass to set up to stream it myself. And this is not my type of game, like gameplay-wise anyways. And if I played it myself, it'd be 3-4 hours. So when I saw there was a 1 hour and 10-minute video on YouTube, I was like, let's just watch somebody who's good at the game do it. And just... because I mostly just wanted to see, like, the art and the characters and all that, you know? But, I tried to set up BlueStacks, and I'd have to fuck around with BIOS and stuff, and I was like, eh. This butler is terrifying. Was that Discord abomination? I'm like the teacher, except instead of going off of sound, I go off the smell of toes. You understand, you understand. This isn't... bro, the music! Oh, shitty. I mean, he's nowhere to be found, though. It's not as... doesn't seem as scary as, like, normal Little Nightmare. Why are you so much faster? Hello? That's like when you play as Mono and Six is just blasting away. I still can't believe that there's a stamina system in Little Nightmares. Eternal, were you here when I played that little part? Did you know that? I just replayed Little Nightmares for the second time. I guess actually more, because I had replayed it and gotten all the collectibles and miscellaneous or whatever. That Little Nightmares has a stamina system. So I'm wondering, I'm like, wait, are all my complaints about the controls not being precise enough my own fault? I don't remember that. The game never tells you. I'll show you after this. I saw it in the speedrun thing. I was like, what? Some of the speedrun strats are crazy. Like, you know when she has the hunger pains? You could skip those. There's a specific little line where it triggers, and you can walk slowly and make her trip, so it skips the animation. There's so... I'll show you. Bro, are we just torching Xenoverse tonight and just little nightmaresing all night? Prices hasn't been ported to console? I mean, if they make it like $10, maybe $20. It'd be an easy completion at least. You just watch this video. It shows all of the collectibles. Although this video does have one death, so. Wow, climbing down facing you was actually freaky as fuck. It was longer than I thought. Dude, this is somebody that knows what they're doing though. This game's actually 3 to 4 hours. It's even longer than you thought, but it's longer than you thought when you think about it. Yeah, I already have an idea for a lore video, but maybe we should watch the speedrun video together. Y'all down? I'm down. We'll just start Xenoverse tomorrow. How do they... I know kids are resilient, but how are these children alive, bro? My phone would literally melt if I play this in one go? Why? What, you have an old one? I assume? I can't imagine this game's too demanding. Then again, who knows? There's kind of a lot going on. Okay. Oh shit, I thought we were side by side. Holy fuck. That's crazy. That's so crazy. So, with the lore video that we watched the other day, the girl that just saved us, the one that like pushed the rock off, because the whole time you assume that you're playing as 6. It's the one who just saved us that's 6. I don't know what this kid's name is, but she dies and then 6 takes her raincoat. Nick's out here with an iPhone 3 because he's been subbing to Shizzy Hollywood at tier 3 since he was 5. True. True. And then I took that tier 3 money, I got this diamond encrusted case. You know what's funny is I actually, because I'm, every now and then I get bougie. I was like, oh, I should get a fancy case for my phone. And I was like, wait, I would literally never see it. Having a fancy case is cool and all, but I literally never see the back of my phone. So no. That's just fucking dumb. Because I always have it with the face up, obviously. You know, you understand. That was cool, man. This is the first one. It goes this, and then Little Nightmares 2, and then Little Nightmares 1. The, Hicks, honestly, I would say, if you're interested, check my VOD from Sunday. It's 6 hours, right? But the last half hour is lore stuff. And there's one that we watched that like explained the timeline and the theories and stuff. Or actually, wait, you haven't played. Never mind. Don't because it has lots of spoilers. Never mind. Oh, but wait. Ah, shit. Well, now I don't want to spoil stuff for you. Because you said you hadn't played the first one, right? Too bad. Alright, I'm gonna hit you with a spicy like. Once again, chat. The channel is V Gaming. Please go give them a like and a view, assuming as it was their video. Thank you, V Gaming. That was awesome. I will end the YouTube recording here. Or should I? Or should we add the lore to the end of this? We play on mobile. I mean, look, they play other stuff. They play Five Nights at Freddy's, so they're living it. No, to be fair, Valiant Hearts fucking rips. So shout out to them. That game was a lot of fun. Okay, little nightmares, gnomes explained. No, Eternal. Let's Okay, I want to do this, and then I want to watch the speedrun, and then we'll do Xenoverse tomorrow because I'm the fucking liar. Or actually, we might have time for like an hour of Xenoverse. Usually I don't like to do like the first hour of a game because it'll be like the tutorial and that's it. But chances are it's going to be exactly like Xenoverse 1, so we should be okay.
Seem like insignificant
We'll
little
see.
critters, but they actually mean a lot more than you might know. Hello viewers, my name is Terrico and welcome to my channel where I explore...
Oh yeah, right, of course. First, shout out to Terrico. Another, bro, these big ass channels with the fucking little nightmares bombs, dude, yeah. I mean, Eternal, right now, first of all, light nightmares, psh, right now, I'm with you.
Explain and expand
Little
upon
Nightmares
the
gonna be by the
darkest worlds in video
nards.
games. Today we're going to take a closer look at the gnomes in Little Nightmares. I'm going to attempt to explain what they are, where they come from, what they represent,
Lore Nightmares.
and also some potential links to our own world as well. So it should go without saying that there's going to be spoilers in today's video. So, what are the gnomes then? The gnomes are these tiny little critters that run around most of the major locations in Little Nightmares.
I think what we'll do is the YouTube video, I'll just put like very little nightmares plus lore and I'll just timestamp. Or no, it'll be like very little nightmares reaction. And then I'll just put timestamps for like very little nightmares, lore, speedrun. That's well, DBZ and DBZ Super are different, but yeah, I checked, and because yeah, I was like that's the only thing that sucks. I was hoping it would focus on Super. It looks like it's like the same shit again. I checked just to get an idea, so I'll know like when I'm you know, can I finish it by Sunday type thing, because it seems like it's like 18.5 hours or something, so it should be doable by Sunday. But it's like, yeah, it's like Raditz and the Saiyans and Frieza and all that, which is fine, but it's just like, man, we've played these 28 times. But then after Dragon Ball Z, it's the Beerus arc, and then it said like the Emperor or something, so I assume that's the Frieza arc when he comes back in Super. And then after that, it's all DLC. There's so much fucking DLC. Like hundreds and hundreds of dollars of DLC. You know what, just to show you guys real quick, before we continue this, if you've never seen it, like, it's fucking insane. And they just put one out like a week or two, yeah, last week, because the optimized for Xbox Series, that happened on Friday. That's why, like, I saw the game finally get an update. I was like, right, it's May. That's probably the current gen upgrade. Also, the upgrade is free if you already owned the previous gen. I don't know if you can like buy the previous one now. Well, anyways, there's 26 add-ons for this game. 5 Dragon Ball Masters, Android 16, Bardock, Cooler, Whis, and Future Gohan. Yeah, and sorry, and then this new Future Saga DLC that came out is the first one out of 6 DLCs. The Future Saga is gonna have 6 chapters. But right now, actually, now that I look at it, what the fuck? That's Few. And he's from the Heroes anime, which is not canon. It's like to promote a card game. And then I think there's Goku Black, but then that's like Villain Vegeta. So it's all the shit that's like not real. Then, actually, that's really cool. This is from the superhero movie that came out last year or something. The one that's after Broly. You have Beast Gohan, Orange Piccolo, the 2 androids. Legend Patrol Pack. Experience the main Time Patrol story from Dragon Ball's universe. Giant size pack also contains content from the GT arc. That's kind of sick. I'll say for like 20 bucks a super edition or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, because I had a feeling they would do that. Kanton City? Players characters chosen by the Kanton City vote. Goku, Ultra Instinct, Sign, Dispo, and Vegeta. Picon and Topo. That's fucking cool. Ribrianne from Universe 2 and New Saiyan Prince forms with Ultra Pack 1. So, okay, the superhero movie, Gohan Beast, Orange Piccolo, and Piccolo Power Awakening. But wait, what? So what's different from this? Bundles together both Hero of Justice packs 1 and 2. Okay, so this is pack 2. Ultra set, get Ultra Pack 1 and 2. 4 Dragon Ball Z universe. Okay, so Blue Vegito, Goku Black, Super Saiyan Rose, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, oh, the Dragon Ball Super Broly, and then Blue Gogeta, Kefla, Ultra Instinct Goku, Goku Black, Jiren, of course. Okay, so Jiren Full Power, Gogeta, DB Super, Caulifla, Kale. Like, anime music packs, 20 bucks a pop, bro. Yeah, Picon was sick. But yeah, this guy is, I think, from this game. I don't remember. Android 21. Yeah, Picon and Topo, Kaba, Frost. That's an angel. But like, look at, okay, if we just do quick math, okay? Free. Awesome. Actually, I guess I should grab that. Let me just do this in case it shows any payment info. Free? Fucking get that. Why not? I like how they make Vegeta look Ultra Ego without saying Ultra Ego. Where? In this? No, Ultra Ego is like purple, and he has no eyebrows. Okay, look, so 27. So right away, this is 50 bucks. 63.50. Bro, right away, this is like 100 bucks. And then 11, let's say 25, 45. Bro, this is like another over 100 bucks. Then this is like 60, 70 bucks. And then this is right here, 40, 55. So this is like another 100 bucks. You could spend like fucking like 5 bills on this game. That's insane. Although, you know what? Actually, wait. I made a big mistake. That's a lie. Because the expensive ones are combining 2 cheaper ones. That's my bad. Okay. Like this one is 23 bucks, but it combines like this and another one. But still. Like that's like, yeah, like this would combine this and this. But still, that's like what? Still a lot, man. But I actually, you know what's funny is I had Googled best Xenoverse 2 DLC, because if ever I wanted to whatchamacallit, yeah, play them. And not do, you know, the ones where it's like just characters, because yeah, a lot of that too, now that I think of it, it's just characters, it's not content, right? Whereas like if I got DLC, I would only do like the new content. Canadian dollars cooked, it's true. Actually, so wait. I have. Dude, I'm looking at my bookmarks. I don't have that bookmark, but oh yeah, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, which is the DLC pack, is the best. There's a couple of things here that I wanted to watch on stream that I still never got around to. The complete story of Mortal Kombat. Dude, we got all kinds of reaction content. Xenoverse 2 mission list. Emperor's Return, The Masked Saiyan, Warrior from the Demon World, Unknown History. Okay, so I think I looked at the achievements, and I think it's up at the Emperor. So The Masked Saiyan, Warrior from the Demon World, and Unknown History, I think might be DLCs. You know what? I'd have to check. For now, let's say ideally we finish the base game by Sunday, and then I would look into, you know, okay, what is DLC? Is it an hour or is it like 5? And then we see maybe Tuesday, Wednesday we do DLC. Maybe we don't bother, because like Xenoverse 1, I got the GT DLC. It was short and it sucked ass. It was such a fucking waste of money and time. So I'll have to look into it. Okay, we're only 30 seconds into this video. Let's restart it, and I'm gonna have to timestamp here. I guess it'll be easy to find because it'll be like after looking through the store. So okay, once again for the timestamp, this one is by Terrico. Shout out to Terrico for this video of the Gnomes and Little Nightmares Explained. So this is 10 minutes. Then I'll have a pee, and then we'll watch the speed run.
The gnomes in Little Nightmares might seem like insignificant little critters, but they actually mean a lot more than you might know. Hello viewers, my name is Terrico and welcome to my channel where I explore, explain and expand upon the darkest worlds in video games. Today we're going to take a closer look at the gnomes in Little Nightmares. I'm going to attempt to explain what they are, where they come from, what they represent, and also some potential links to our own world as well. So it should go without saying that there's going to be spoilers in today's video.
This was at the end of Little Nightmares 1, right?
The gnomes then? The gnomes are these tiny little critters that run around most of the major locations in Little Nightmares. We see them in abundance in the moor and in the nest, and we also see plenty of references to them in the Pale City as well. They are these bipedal little creatures with pointy heads, and they do look very similar to a certain type of mushroom, which is actually very relevant, and we'll get onto that in a little while.
Oh.
The gnomes are sentient, they do have personalities, and they do have activities that some like to do that others don't.
Oh, like this, like,
unlike
drawing.
Most of the entities in the world of Little Nightmares, they don't seem to be evil, nor do they have any evil agendas. They generally just want to survive. They'll run away from things that they deem a threat, which is pretty much everything to them, including sometimes the children. And
Don't you find that they run, like, it almost looks like stop motion? It's so funny to me.
Agendas, they generally just want to survive. They'll run away from things that they deem a
they're
threat,
so
which
janky.
is pretty much everything
Also,
to them, including sometimes
saying
the children,
things is cooked
and they will
is
hide
like
in
my
places
favorite thing
that they
right now.
think no one else can reach. They also collect items, some things that they need and some things that they don't, and they all seem to have their own individual personalities, with some being mischievous and some being more skittish. So where do the gnomes come from then? Well, we actually know the answer to at least where some of them come from, and we know that from the Little Nightmares 1 DLC.
Yeah, this is going to be super spoilers, Hicks, by the way. Also, while we're on that, do you want the craziest spoiler or no? So I just saw something.
Nightmares 1 DLC, it's revealed that the lady turns the runaway kid into a gnome, and this is
okay, well, this is the spoiler. So you've been warned. Ahi. So here, throughout the game, there's a few times where 6 has like a severe hunger pain, and each time it's worse. So she has like a piece of bread, and then it's like, you know, and it's worse and worse and worse. And here, this is the last one near the end of the game. This gnome offers you a sausage, and 6 eats the gnome. She just straight up bites its neck and eats it, okay? And then in the DLCs, you don't play as 6, you play as the runaway kid.
Answer to at least
and you do see 6, like you kind of pass each other a couple of times.
Some of them come from, and we know that from the Little Nightmares 1 DLC. At the end of the Little Nightmares 1 DLC, it's revealed that the lady turns the runaway kid into a gnome, and this is the unfortunate gnome that Six decides to snack upon. We
It
see
was
that the
so
lady casts
fucked.
some sort of spell, and then the runaway kid wakes up as a gnome. It's not actually clear if this was her intended purpose or if this was just a byproduct of a spell that she cast, but either way she leaves the runaway kid alone once he's turned into a gnome.
It's
This
the
is also
last DLC ends with you like you're running around as a gnome, and then you walk into the room and you see the sausage and you're just like also the end of the second DLC, for those that didn't see when I was like talking about it. The end of the second DLC, there's a bunch of gnomes in front of a fireplace. And I didn't catch it when I was playing it because, again, I was kind of like not enjoying the DLCs. So I was kind of like, let's just get through it. But the shadows of the gnomes are shadows, they're shaped like kids.
Shadowed earlier on in the DLC. In the furnace room, we see this room full of gnomes with the shadows being cast on the wall, which are actually shadows of children, showing how all of these gnomes did used to be children.
So fucked.
This is also implied in the nest as well in Very Little Nightmares. In Very Little Nightmares, we see that the nest seems to be built to house many children, although there are very, very few here. There are, however, many gnomes here, implying that the gnomes that are here once also used to be children. It's possible that the Pretender did this because we know she has magic, although we don't know for certain. I also want to point out that it's not entirely confirmed that this is the only way that gnomes are created.
Right, Hicks, exactly. That's why I love
a lot of times
Little Nightmares. It's so fucked, and I'm all about it.
So it's entirely possible that this is a similar sort of situation.
Also, is the audio okay?
Gnomes already existed in this world before people started turning people into them. We also see in the artwork of Little Nightmares 2 that it looked like the gnomes were going to have a house in the forest, although for whatever reason, it didn't make it into the game in the end. But it does seem that in the world of Little Nightmares, gnomes can be found all over. Either magic is far more common than we know, or, as I've said, there are other ways that gnomes are created, or gnomes existed before all this magic business. So as I said earlier, gnomes kind of look like mushrooms. They look like a specific type of mushroom called a cone cap mushroom. And in fact, the first time I ever played Little Nightmares, I referred to these people as mushroom men before I realized they were actually called gnomes. This is actually more relevant than you might think. If you look at the milky cone cap mushroom, they look very similar to the gnomes, at least the gnomes' heads anyway. But what's really interesting about the milky cone cap mushroom is that they are sometimes called dunce cap mushrooms, probably because they resemble old dunce caps. Dunce caps used to be used in classrooms for, well, children that would misbehave or act like dunces. It was a form of shaming, kind of like they do in The Handmaid's Tale, and it was designed to shame people.
There's one in The Binding of Isaac, and it's so annoying. It makes you shoot diagonally like this.
We see this in Little Nightmares 2. We see one of the bullies wearing this dunce's cap, and then we see a bunch of these caps in the next room, which I pointed out on my first playthrough really look like the gnomes' heads. Could just be a coincidence, but we also see these tiny mushrooms growing in a couple of places in Little Nightmares 2 as well. We see them around the woods near the hunter's house, and we also see them growing in jars in the school as well. So clearly, the mushroom and gnome connection
Okay, bro, how much did you have to fucking zoom? Are you serious? This? Into the dark? I guess they were like, oh, it's dark, I can't see, let me zoom, and they're like, oh shit, that's crazy. Lightspeed needs one of those hats, it's true. Which naming nomenclature do the gnomes use?
School as well. So clearly, the mushroom and gnome connection is not just a coincidence. That could
I was just talking about the hats and the
don't
shit.
Seem to bother with the gnomes at all, not even once. If you think about it, if you saw a random growing mushroom in a field, you probably wouldn't eat it, because some mushrooms can be poisonous and some can be psychedelic.
But you need a human kid.
We'll come back onto that in a minute because that also could be relevant. But either way, it's not really a good idea to eat random mushrooms that haven't been prepared for you. Maybe this is why the guests don't bother with the gnomes. Maybe they don't like the idea of eating these random mushrooms that they see lying around, or maybe they're just not really that bothered by vegetables. I mean, let's be honest, they don't look like they eat their 5 a day. But as I said, mushrooms can also be psychedelic.
God, these games are gross.
Which, if you want to go really deep down the rabbit hole, could be a nice little nod to plenty of other media that we've seen in the past that have dealt with crazy things like in the world of Little Nightmares.
This is Chris and this is McGee. Whoop, whoop, and that's Lightspeed. Whoop, and that's Hicks. Whoop.
What I mean is, if
That's
we look
Eternal.
at the world of Little Nightmares, we don't actually...
No, this is Eternal. Angry little ginger lady. Ah, he ban him off with his head.
The Little Nightmares. What I mean is, if we look at the world of Little Nightmares, we don't actually know what it represents. We don't know if it's a nightmare, we don't know if it's supposed to be a real world that has been corrupted by something, we don't know if all of this is just someone's imagination, very similar to Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland was always kept very, very ambiguous. We don't fully know if Wonderland actually exists, or if it's all just a symptom of Alice's mental health. This is also very interesting when you see that there's a lot of drug references in Alice in Wonderland. There are a hell of a lot of them, which could explain where Alice gets all of these ideas from. It could be yet another hint that it's all in her head. We could also apply this to the gnomes in Little Nightmares. We have, well, literal mushrooms running around all over the place, which could be a subtle hint that this world isn't, well, quite as real as we once thought.
It's just somebody tripping on mushrooms?
It's an interesting concept. The idea that this entire world could be just somebody's crazy drug trip, which, let's be honest, some of the ideas that Tarsier Studios come out with were, well, very out there. This also kind of leaks into our own world.
That's me sniffing
as well.
toes.
The gnomes are called gnomes, but we also have gnomes in our world too, although the spelling's slightly different, and that is also relevant. In our world, we have garden gnomes, which are based on gnomes of folklore.
So gross.
Garden gnomes also have pointy heads, although they usually have red hats on, but they are generally used as good luck charms, now more so just for decoration. But they're also used to protect people's crops, protect people's properties and valuables as well.
Yeah, that caterpillar
Gnomes
rocks
in
that
mythology
pipe,
were
dude.
mischievous little creatures, but they weren't bad ones. Generally speaking, they usually help humans, which is interesting because the gnomes in Little Nightmares are very similar. They can be very mischievous, but they generally don't harm humans. They either run away from them or they attempt to help them once they realize if a human is actually on their side or not. Garden gnomes also are often found on toadstools.
I'm not a
The joke
gnoblin.
being that a
I'm a
toadstool
gnome.
is a perfect sized stool for a garden gnome. But the gnomes from Little Nightmares aren't spelt with a G, they are spelled N-O-M-E-S, which could also be significant.
He's ain't
I've had
gangster.
this thought for a while now, but the name gnomes could be a subtle little hint to what went on with them. If you take the name gnome singularly as gnome, you could split that into two words.
No me?
No me. That could be a very cheeky subtle foreshadowing that the gnomes have lost themselves. They don't have a me anymore because they lost their original body. They were transformed from a human child into a gnome, and now all the gnomes look exactly the same. They have no individuality, they have no me. Another thing I want to mention is this very weird thing that happens in the Pale City. We don't really see many gnomes around the Pale City. In fact, I can only think of the one we see in the Hunter's Attic in the Gnome DLC. But what we
Yeah, I
do
was saying that
see
too, yeah.
are a bunch of packages with pictures of gnomes on. It's possible that these gnomes are being shipped out to places, possibly being sold like a pet, or sold like a garden gnome. A lot of things in Little Nightmares are basically twisted versions of real life things. And it could be in this world, our version of garden gnomes have been completely twisted into something much more horrifying. Yet people buy them just like they would a garden gnome in our world. The idea that gnomes are being shipped around to people's houses, that they could just put them on display, is pretty horrifying when you think that at least some of the gnomes were made from human children. It's just another nightmarish thing in this world. You're turned into a gnome and then shipped off to some person's house to be essentially an owner.
Hicks. And like I was saying, when I was looking up
out recently
stuff,
is that of the 6 children that we see in the Little Nightmares 2 artwork, one of them actually
fuck?
looks like he's dressed up like a gnome. A lot of people see this one who looks like he's dressed up like a ghost. He's wearing what appears to be a sheet with 2 holes cut out for his eyes,
looks
and
like
he
a
only
rubber.
has one arm. But if you look at it, it does kind of look like a gnome's head, although clearly not as pointy. But it does, especially if you look at the bottom, look quite a lot like a gnome's head. If you compare him to the concept art of gnomes as well, the eyes look far more similar to a gnome's than I previously thought.
Even those are creepy as fuck, and they're so basic.
Up like a gnome because he thought it would make the people ignore him, since we know that most of the monsters in this world just don't seem to bother with the gnomes at all. The only ones we actually see chase the gnomes are the chefs, which honestly makes sense. They probably want to cook them, especially if, like we said, they are essentially made out of mushroom in this world. So there we have it, some things you might not have known about the gnomes in Little Nightmares. These creatures are actually a lot more interesting than I first thought, and it's no wonder that a whole DLC segment was given to them. If you did enjoy this video, please let me know down in the comments below, and consider subscribing so you don't miss my other content, which is usually on horror games just like Little Nightmares. If you did find this video useful, don't forget to give it a like. My name has been Terrico, Thank you very much for watching.
Did you see it go like all rainbowy?
Next time.
Does it do that at the end of videos now? So once again, chat, Terrico, please give a like and a view. I want to see it now. Little Nightmares to Gnome Attic. You'll see. It's only 5 minutes. It's weird that it's like $7. All right, chill. All right, Thomas's trophy tutorials. I'm gonna link all of these in the YouTube description. What was I gonna say? But yeah, when I was looking, because I was like, I want to see if there's a like Little Nightmares speedrun that's like crazy. Because I remember when it came out, the 1 hour speedrun, people were saying it was tight. They were getting it like in the 55-minute range and shit. So I was like, I wonder if now there's a whole bunch of craziness. And I found a video that was like a month ago, and it's a 33-minute speedrun. And a couple of skips that I saw are fucking insane. So like I said, we'll watch this, and I will have a pee, and then but just the fact that you could skip the hunger segments and stuff, and then the stamina, bro, when it explains the stamina, because the game never tells you, I was like, if this is why I complained about the controls all this time, no, they're not perfectly tight when you're fresh, are they? It's got me questioning everything, bro. Okay.
I'm gonna stand again. Whoops, after you meet 6, you have to go to attic to find a key. Oh, it is? It is? Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When I was looking for the speedrun, I found like 12 minutes of gameplay or something. I did unfortunately see 2 characters. Like, I didn't want to see anything, but I saw what the 2 characters look like. I didn't want to say anything, but McGee spoiled it, so thanks, man. Stamina in games is so shit, bro. Like, realism is one thing when it's like graphics and stuff, but when it's like stamina and hunger and thirst and sleeping, I'm like, bro, fucking Sugma. McGee, I'm just joshing. First go into the room where you could find the winch. Yeah, okay. A winch? Why, does she know math? Man. Use this winch to collect the key. God, this game is so good, man. I can't believe I didn't play it because I was like, do I want to spend $40 on 5 hours of Little Nightmares? No, I don't like it that much. And then I played it on Sunday. I'm like, you're an idiot, bro. You could have experienced this 4 years ago. So, I've learned my lesson. And when Little Nightmares 3 drops, we're playing that like first week. I mean, it depends. Like, if it's on a Tuesday, I'll wait till the weekend, or we'll see. I'll see also like how long it's supposed to be. If it's another 5-6 hours, we'll try to one-shot it on the weekend. But now I hope it's soon, because like as you can tell, I'm like all Little Nightmares up, man. Folded up the cabinets and boxes into the crawl space. Oh! Oh no, wait. Is that? No, this is a different. There was a different window where I was like, wait, why can't I go this way? Okay. We'll need to find the gnome 4 times. Maybe Summer Game Fest, that would be so sick. That timing would be perfect. Also, I'm going to be streaming Summer Game Fest next Friday, chat. I signed up to be an official co-streamer, which doesn't mean anything except they might send me assets. Like we did with Game Awards and stuff. Jeff Keighley's going to email me. It's no big deal. But, it's personalized, it's not automated, I promise. But, yeah, usually I start at 6 on Fridays. But, it's on at 5, so it's like, whatever. I'll just either, like, skip a shower and food, or I'll just take an Uber or some shit. Happens once a year, so I don't mind spending $20 on an Uber. Pull the cart back so the gnome can jump on it, then push it to the right, okay? Like toe picks? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like an overlay, and then a spot for the webcam, and then a toe pick that's just for me. And it says "Love you, ooh woo," and it has a little MP3 attached that says this.
Hell yeah, suck toes.
Very interesting. Open the gate and pull down the lever on the wall. I added that sound effect tonight. I figured it was about time. You know? Go back and set the cart in the center again. I wonder if I... No, I can't. I was just gonna say, I wonder if I'm like the person who jokes the most about feet and toes, who's not into feet or toes. But I feel like no, it can't be, because everyone jokes about that shit all the time, whether or not you like it. Somebody's like constantly making gay jokes, but I like vaginas, you know? It's just funny. Toes and feet are just funny because, like, I don't get it, but man, people are so fucking unhinged and feral for them. You know? It's like, you see boobs and you're like, hell yeah, boobs are cool. And then you see feet and it's just like, dog, I'm gonna skin somebody to suck those fucking toes. Oh, I just realized that this person's wearing a hat I haven't seen yet. This like log head. And yeah, this hat can only be accessed via the DLC. So I assume, unlike fucking Ark, that the achievement pops. That the achievement pops when you get all the hats besides that one. I don't like toes, people ask. Let's sing another king. That's the whole fucking DLC? And that's like $7? Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
That was it? Like, that's cool, but really? Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, yuck and others yum. Oh. Alright. Once again, that was this trophy tutorials. Thank you, Thomas. That's wild. Your gift sub to Snowbike Mike has expired. Fuck. Don't do another scoom. Okay, real quick. Add quote. Don't doom another's coom. I'm gonna spell it correctly though. There you go. Okay, so Little Nightmare speed run. I'm gonna queue this up and I'm gonna go do a little papiska.
Or much faster.
Spicy little papishka in it, and then we'll watch this, and then I guess Xenoverse tomorrow. Lol. Unpause the recording. My brain is cooked. Same, brother. Same. I don't know where I'm gonna put the chat just yet because of the subtitles and such. So this one, we have the technology. Tetrabit Gaming. Thank you for the video. This, like I said, just came out 1 month ago. So you can speedrun Little Nightmares in just over 30 minutes. Like I said, originally, people were saying that the hour speedrun was difficult. Again, I didn't try it, mostly because of the controls, which now I realize might be my own fault because of the stamina that I didn't know about. But, all that to say, also my memory sucks, so speedrunning Lamau. Anyways, I'm really curious to see it. Because when I replayed this, let's see real quick. Oh, when I replayed this, what's up, guys? Welcome. Dude, my new, I'm gonna say it. My new trailer, channel trailer, stream intro, fire. Prove me wrong. You can't. Here it is. 3 hours. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a difference, just a little.
Is a really cool puzzle-solving platformer which has the yellow-clad Six here going through numerous perils with only her trusty lighter in hand. And today we'll be taking a look at the any percent speed.
Yeah, that's kind of lit.
Speedrun category of this game and see the strats, tricks, and glitches that have led to speedrunners being able to beat what is normally a 2 to 3 hour experience in just over half an hour. Let's check it out.
That's 3 hours. Trust me, I know. It's 3. It's 3.
Alright, so after starting up a new game on the main menu, time for the speedrun actually doesn't start until we get going in the game. So we actually want to skip the intro cutscene by simply pausing the game and reloading the previous checkpoint. Yeah, sorry, if you wanted to get a bit
Gamer
more of
shit.
the game's lore, you ain't getting it here.
It's just gamer shit,
Anyways,
you know what I mean?
time for the speedrun
Is the audio okay?
officially starts as soon as the game loads in, and we start things off here as 6 awakens in this suitcase. As soon as we're
I didn't even remember that this was here. When you fight boss 6 and 2, the suitcases in the corner, man.
able to move, we'll want to
These
start
games.
going to the right. And while we're doing that, now is a good time to go over stamina management.
Eternal, look at this
which
shit.
ends up being a pretty important aspect of this game for speedrunning it. So Little Nightmares gives the player the ability to sprint, and like in many games, this can only be done for a certain amount of time before needing to take a break. And unfortunately here, there's no meter or anything indicating 6's stamina.
It's not normally without mods like this one. Somebody added a fucking stamina mod. Bro, modders, man. Awesome.
We start to see her slow down and become more sluggish when your stamina
Look how
does
clunky
start
she
to run
is.
low. There's also sprint jumping, which allows 6 to move really fast in any direction, but each jump comes at the cost of a bunch of stamina. So managing these jumps is
That's a
really
lot.
important to maximize speed while also not overdoing it to run out of stamina. And if we want to get to the really nitty-gritty details, once you drop under 40% stamina, you'll actually enter a fatigued state, and once under 10%, an exhausted state, with each state causing 6 to control slower
Isn't that
and
crazy?
more sluggish. And if you do drop under 40%, you don't fully recover movement unless you wait until you get back up to 100% stamina. That said, you can hold the sprint button all you want in the game's many vent segments, as there, although you still do move faster, fast crouch walking doesn't actually use your stamina. And another good tip is to let go of the run button whenever 6 goes through doors or climb stuff, as those actions aren't sped up with the run button, and it's a good time to rest up the stamina. Anyways, with that stamina lecture out of the way,
Isn't that crazy?
let's get back to the run. After getting through the first vent section of the game, we get a nice zoom out here as 6 runs up these stairs. There are many cool shots like this throughout the game that really
Shout out to
just
this awesome
exemplify
Mario or
how
Mario.
nice
I
this
think
game
Mario
can
Kart
look.
music, but it
Then
might be
after
from Mario.
sliding under these planks and jumping onto and off of this bed to get into this window,
I recognize
we
it from
enter
Mario
this room
Kart.
where we can see a dude just hanging out, and here we actually get to do the first of many tricks for the speedrun. So normally here, you have to pull this chair along close enough to the door so you can
This is when I was already like locked in, but I saw this like right before I had to go to bed, so I was like, "Fuck!" I downloaded it on my phone, like I gotta watch it on lunch, but then I forgot that today I had a meeting during lunch, and I was just like, "Fuck!" So I'm glad we're watching it now because I haven't had a chance to watch past like this part really. No, I think I got to like, did I get to the lair? I didn't even get to the lair, so.
then climb on it and jump towards the door handle to open it up. But we're speedrunning, so we can just run onto this raised up plank in the back right of the room here, and if you jump off at the right spot, you'll actually get enough height to still grab the handle and open up the door
That's
much
so
faster.
crazy.
In the next room, we can use up the rest of our stamina, as after opening up this fridge, we got some climbing to do. And then after making our way to the right, as we dodge some goopy leech things that rain down on us from above, we can pull this switch to open the next set of doors, jump across this gap, and then pull off this plank to get into the next room. Now,
God, this game is so
unfortunately,
good.
we don't stay up here too
And 2
long,
is so much
as
better.
The floorboards break right under our feet, and this drops us down into the dark room below, where after flicking on our lighter, we can see that we are surrounded by a whole bunch of goopy leeches.
Bro, fuck
And
this
after
game.
making it out of that room alive, we climb upwards for a while, and eventually we get to this crank, where turning it
Was there a gnome that just disappeared? This is what I'm saying, Hicks. I don't understand. Like, some of these things are so... Like, I could kind of understand the plank because it's, like, elevated, and somebody might have been like, I wonder. Sometimes, like the one where they trip and skip the hunger thing that you're going to see soon. Mind-boggling to me. I didn't know you can make her trip. I'd be so fucking bored looking for dude. Some stuff that people do like that, or when I think about what Maka does for his guides, Tiki, like I am bored out of my fucking mind using his guides to get collectibles, and this Poe thing has to find them and then record the optimal path and then edit it and then talk over it and make everything as concise and easy to follow and perfect and streamlined as possible. That's got to be so boring, right?
out of that room alive, we climb upwards for a while, and eventually we
Yeah, that gnome just vanished. What the fuck happened there?
Then, after making it out of that room alive, we climb upwards for a while, and eventually we get to this crank, where turning it causes a door to open on the other side of the room. But letting it go will cause it to close up again, so we want to open it enough to leave enough time for us to jump across and make it under before it closes. And then, as soon as we see this loading icon pop up on the bottom right of the screen that indicates that we tripped the next autosave trigger point, we can actually do some checkpoint abuse here.
Eternal, I remember when you were like live editing my mock-up article application,
into the next room,
and you kept dumbing it down. I was like, I can't do this.
So we can hit the ground running into the next room, where having that extra stamina is nice, as it's a really long room, so a few extra sprint jumps can save a
Today
few more
we're
seconds.
reviewing Little Nightmares 2, a video, which is a video game that came out. Now, a video game is a game that you play on your television or monitor.
Here too. Oh yeah, here we also get introduced to the first boss of the game that we get to encounter, the janitor, as we climb up this rope made up of tied together linens. Next, we can get to this bathroom and jump off the toilet paper crate here to pull a switch which cuts the power. And this lets us bypass these bars.
Hicks taking notes so that his first playthrough is like 27 minutes.
The power is only cut for a limited time, but if you sprint and jump across this next room enough, you should have no problem getting through the next normally electrified set of bars as well. Now in this next corridor, we can do
I don't remember this section at all.
Little trick.
And I just played this
Picking
game.
up one of these blocks here and placing it onto this ledge in the right spot by quickly grabbing the block from the edge here and almost immediately crouching for a few frames, this can actually zip us right to the middle, effectively skipping the first cycle of the eye light that
Bro,
can kill
like,
6.
how do people find... That reminds me of this. I don't understand how people find this shit.
This is a super wave dash, and here's how you do it. As Samus, drop a bomb and move the control stick in the opposite direction that you want to go on the 41st frame. On the 42nd frame, flick the stick in the direction you do want to go, and if executed perfectly, Samus will glide across the stage while also staying actionable, meaning you can input a move while flying across the screen.
So you have to get the timing to 1/60th of a second. Do you know how long I practiced to be able to do that shit consistently? A long time. And you do, that's what this reminded me of.
For a few right spots by quickly grabbing the block from the edge here and almost immediately crouching for a few frames, this can actually zip us right to the middle, effectively skipping the first cycle of the eye light that can kill 6. Although not only is this trick visually interesting and can save some extra seconds, it can be a bit tough to pull off, and personally, I'm not nearly consistent with this trick enough to do it myself in an actual speedrun scenario. In any case, we can now climb up these boxes and cages to get to the next room where we can finally get nice and close to the janitor. But the interaction is cut short as we can simply sprint and jump to this room to avoid the janitor altogether.
That's so awesome.
At least for now.
Just like, nah, bro.
And after crawling
not about
through
that life.
another vent, we actually get to the first hunger section of the run.
Eternal,
Now,
check this. It's gonna blow your fucking mind.
There are 3 trigger points which will cause 6 to go through a hunger animation, and each of these wastes about 5 seconds as you can't really move around during them. Thankfully though, there's a rather easy trick you can do to bypass these triggers. All you have to do is just cause 6 to trip over where the trigger line is.
Like, you saw, first of all, how do you even figure out that if you just go, she trips?
For example, the first trigger line is about here, and if we trip over it in the right spot, although the music will still change as if the hunger animation was playing, we actually still get to keep control of 6 to keep moving forward.
How do you figure this out? How? How do you figure out that's the fucking... I guess the easiest part to me is the trigger. Because if you play this game enough, you could figure out, like, that's where she gets hungry. Okay. Especially because you literally have, like, lines on the ground. That I can understand. The trip thing is, like, or they're trying to line up, maybe, like, that plank at the beginning, they're trying to line up the jump perfectly, and you notice that she trips, and you're like... And then you do put 2 and 2...
There are quite a few of these trigger points throughout the game.
I mean, then again, I didn't even know there was stamina, so who am I to talk about this?
Just kind of have to memorize where they are and remember to trip 6 at each one. Well, except for the next one, as this one can be skipped by jumping off of this panel here and then grabbing onto the wall in the background for a bit. And although the third and last hunger trigger of this area can be skipped, we actually don't want to skip it, as this one results in a cutscene that's necessary to progress in the game. Anyways, in this final hunger animation, the character in the background tosses us some grub to munch on, and with Six's stomach temporarily refilled, we can climb out of this area, run through a shower room to now get to what I like to call the cage room. The next door is electrified, so we need to find a way to...
We've watched a few speedruns on stream, a lot of Souls games and shit, but like I said, I wanted to watch Tomb Raider, because when I played the Tomb Raider 1 to 3 remastered or whatever, I didn't last long. I played like an hour and a half, and I just couldn't do it. The controls, even with the like modernized versions, are so ass. I just couldn't fucking play it. But at one point, Kai asked, like, I wonder what the world record is for this game, and I jokingly said, I'll let you know when I'm done, which is a funny joke. But after the stream, I was like, I wonder how, like, what the record is, and it's like an hour. So I was like, okay, why don't we just watch them on stream? So I think I made thumbnails. Let's see, Tomb Raider reactions. Oh, right, because also the reboots that are fucking incredible. Also, like, one of my favorite series in the past couple of gens. All three of those, the speedruns are like 45 minutes to an hour as well. So I made like reaction thumbnails for the original 3 and the reboots. And that's what I was starting to learn, like, to mess with the white outline shit. I used Canva instead of the OBS thing that I was showing you guys before that was driving me crazy.
Turn off the power, so we head up these cages and crates to get to a chain that we can climb to get up even higher. The switch up here unfortunately doesn't shut the power off, but instead will cause the chain to get pulled up, and now we need to use it to get across the room here, so we have to pull this lever to the right to first bring the chain towards us, and then as soon as it gets to the rightmost position, we'll want to immediately switch it back to the left to move the chain accordingly. We can then ride this chain across, and then pull out and climb onto these filing cabinets to then finally jump onto this switch that does actually kill the power. And here is where we actually get to do the first major skip of the speedrun that saves a bunch of time.
That's so sick.
Now, normally, after killing the power, you have to go through the bars on the left, push down this counterweight block to bring up this rope, and after a long trip back down and run through the shower room once again that's now full of slugs, you can make your way back to the door that we have to get through. But thankfully, we can skip all of this by aiming a jump to the right here in a specific spot which doesn't end up killing Six, from which we can then jump down the crates to get where we need to go much faster.
That's so crazy.
After this, we have another eye spotlight to dodge, and thankfully this one's pretty easy as we can just go closer to the back.
I don't think I ever noticed that there's a petrified kid here.
To dodge, and
right here. Huh.
Thankfully, this one's pretty easy as we
I don't remember if I noticed during my playthroughs.
Wall to avoid it, and after jumping across this bridge that starts to pull apart, we've actually escaped this prison, and this brings us to the end of the first chapter in only a handful of minutes. We now start off chapter 2 with an absolute marathon of stair running, which ultimately leads us to the janitor's bedroom, and here we can do another little trick. Instead of
this one is crazy
to bring out the janitor's bed and climbing up a bunch of furniture to reach the key that we need, we can simply just get onto this toilet, jump onto this sink, and then after running to the right, if you jump at the exact moment that Six exits the forced crouch here, you can angle a jump to make it onto the handles of the drawers here to
this
then
is so
jump
perfect.
up to the key a bit faster. Then, with this key in hand, we can lug it over into the back room to unlock the next door, and then after grabbing and chucking the symbol monkey, we can call an elevator, and then use it to take us down several floors to a maintenance corridor, where we get to do our second wave of hunger skips. The first trigger is where the light ends near the start, the second just after Six reappears behind the pipe in the foreground here, and then the last one is around this line near the start of the light at the end of the room. I guess that piece of bread from earlier wasn't enough, as in our very hungry state, we can slowly walk over to this piece of meat found in this cage that's definitely not a trap. Oh, it was a trap. Who could have seen that coming? We then unfortunately have an almost 30-second cutscene that we have to sit through where we can see the janitor.
I didn't realize until, because how would you? When you play the DLC, that's the runaway kid. And when you're playing the DLC, it's fucking wild because you're locked up here and then you're like, oh my god, that's Six right there. And there's also a part where you're running downstairs and you see 6 running upstairs, and I was like, wait, when we played the main game, did we see a kid running downstairs?
We're hauling another unfortunate
Like
fellow
how
away,
far
but
ahead
after
was
we
it
come
thought
to,
out, you know?
We can bonk against the sides of our cage to knock it down and escape. Then we can pull this cage to the right to be able to reach this handle that opens up the next door. And after swinging
That's so fucked, by the way. Can we just point out how fucked it is that you're dragging a cage with a kid in that you can't save?
Cage to the right,
Get out, and they have to just watch
opens
you,
up the
dude.
next door. And
These
after
are
swinging
fucked.
into the next room and avoiding the door closing back on us, we can climb up the gate behind us to make our way to the janitor's packing room. Now this part can be a bit tricky,
God,
but
he's
after
so
running
gross.
off the cloth on the floor, if you sprint jump 4 times, then briefly walk before sprint jumping a 5th time, if you're fast enough at getting into the next room through this gap, you can once again avoid the janitor as he won't follow you into the next room, giving you ample time to pick up the crank here, plop it into the slot, and turn it to open up the hatch to the next area.
What?
And in this vent section, we get a brief foreshadowing to the next boss, or I guess mini-boss, as we don't really see it for too long. Well, we don't actually really see it at all, as the shoe monster just basically swims
Shoe monster?
underneath a sea
Yeah, that's
of
me.
shoes down here trying to catch us.
And I'm hungry.
Yeah, here we basically just need to go from suitcase to suitcase to avoid the shoe monster. And a good tip here is to not hold the run button while wading through the shoes, as it doesn't even speed you up at all, so no need to waste your stamina. And after getting to this last suitcase, we're done here, and that's the last we'll actually ever see of the shoe monster. There's not a lot of downtime from the stress here though, as almost immediately we're thrown into a chase sequence as the janitor closes in on 6. And then we actually get back onto the elevator that we took before, and if we stand near the bottom right of it, thankfully since the janitor can't see very well due to the simple fact of him not having any eyes, we can ride it up with him, and thankfully there are a few gnomes hiding in here that bait him away from us. The next room has a small skip we can do by simply jumping right onto the symbol monkey, which will let us drop down below without having to waste time pushing this box out of the way. We don't stay
Oh
down
my
here
God.
long though, as after climbing back up, we can sneak past the janitor once again, go through his weird doll collection, and then climb our way up this dresser, and finally go through another vent crawl, which drops us into the start of a bunch of clock rooms that the janitor has a big problem with. I guess them messing around with his sense of hearing and all. The janitor then drops down in this next room where we have to quickly grab a shoe to throw onto the button here to open up the adjacent door, run through another clock hallway, which then brings us to a library room where we have to climb a bookshelf, jump onto a piano to then climb another bookshelf. Once at the top, surprise surprise, the janitor is there waiting for us, but thankfully we can quickly jump past him and then sneak our way through this next room by sliding under a few of the shelves here. Then after climbing this very conveniently placed stack
Always
of
just like
books,
runs
we
by
drop
the boss
into
like
this
he's
room
nothing.
Where after turning on the TV to play some epic YouTube videos to distract the janitor, we can grab this crank here and wait by the door for the janitor to enter. And after he comes in and takes a few steps, we can sneak right past him and basically take the same path back that we used to get here to get back to the slot we need to put the crank in. And cranking this
This is
actually
stressful
raises up
just
the
to
piano
watch,
from
dude.
before that we can now use to jump back across to get through this window here. After plopping out, we have to pull this cart across this room, and then do a switcheroo in the middle to avoid the steam here that can kill 6, and after getting the cart across, we can use it to grab onto the door handle here. It's important to hold onto the handle for a bit here though, as if you let go too soon, you'll actually get yeeted into the abyss below. And
That did not happen to me in my replay. We don't have video evidence of it happening to me.
I'd be lying if I said that this didn't mess me up at least a few times. Anyways, soon we find ourselves in a maintenance area, and here, the janitor will try to bamboozle you through one of the cracks in the wall. Now, normally you have to wait a bit to proceed, but if you remember that this is coming, you can actually jump towards the arm at a certain angle, and doing so, you can completely skip through the janitor's grab.
Wait, I was doing the bit. What?
Proceed, but if you bamboozle you through one of the cracks in the wall. Now, normally you have to wait a bit to proceed, but if you remember that this is coming, you can actually jump towards the arm at a certain angle, and doing so, you can completely skip through the janitor's grab.
Fuck off.
The janitor doesn't give up though, as he'll
all
quickly
those
bust
dumplings.
into the next room, but thankfully here we can do one of my favorite tricks of the speedrun. If you stand around this plank here and jump away from the janitor just as the door closes behind him, you can slip away from his grab, which causes him to be stunned for a bit. And after this, you can quickly sprint jump across this hall to get to the next room much faster, and this in turn gives you a head start at pulling out one of the cage bars, before then pulling out the other one, and this results in a really fast way of dispatching the janitor, as doing this causes the door to slam down, cutting off both of the janitor's lanky ass arms, putting him out of commission for the rest of the game, and just like that, we are actually done the second chapter.
Wow.
Next, of course, we have the third chapter, which mostly takes place in the kitchen area, and honestly, this is, I think, the most stressful part of the speedrun.
This is what I thought of, like, actually what this speedrun entails. This is the part where I was like, hell no, dude. Ain't no way.
Things out in Big Shocker, yet another vent crawl, and after making our way up this ladder, we can grab onto one of the hooks and ride it across this big gap, where in the background we can see one of the two chef twins having a smoke break, and these will be the main antagonists of this chapter.
Oh, they're so
Eventually,
nasty.
once we drop onto the pile of, I guess, bodies that the janitor would pack up, we have another set of hunger triggers to skip. The first one here is thankfully probably the easiest one to skip in this run, as by walking over to just behind this body bag here, by simply just crouch walking to the right, we can actually walk just under the trigger point here.
Oh,
The
okay.
second and
That is
final
actually
hunger
easy.
trigger in this area is in this next room towards the end of the pile of bags in the back. And then finally, we just make our way over to this poor little mouse fella that got caught in this trap, and unfortunately it ends up being dinner for 6 here. After that nutritious meal, we jump our way over a bunch of boxes full of body bags, push this lid to make a ramp, and after wheeling this cart to jump into this next window, we finally get to the main kitchen area. And here, the speed
Fucking Windows sound. Oh, that's
run
awesome.
Kind of splits into two paths, as there's the easier and slower path, and then a more difficult and more risky trick that can save us a considerable amount of time. First here, I'll go over the easier stuff, and then the more riskier trick after. So here,
I really
we'll
like how he does the videos, by the way. Like how he does the play-by-play, and he's showing like all the technical stuff, and he's showing you the options. And, you know, the stuff that's not like fancy, he's just like, oh, just, you know, push the cart across. It's, I really like it.
Slide through this hole in the wall and then quickly sprint jump through this room. And if you move through it fast enough, you can actually bypass the chef here without alerting him. And this leaves the next room to be a breeze, as you can just waltz over to the cabinet in the back without the chef chasing you around, as we see that we need to find a key to open up the next area. After climbing up, we can jump onto the beams above here and walk across back to the other side. It can be quite easy to fall off here if you play with a controller, so I actually like to switch to using a keyboard here, as although the perspective looks a bit angled, pressing the S and A keys to go down and left respectively here will basically ensure that you move 6 in a straight line.
Oh, that's
And once
so...
we get to the other side and climb up the cages with
wish.
fish that have been there for who knows how long, we can sprint on over to the twins' bedroom where we can find the other chef still sleeping. We need to grab this key up here though, and unfortunately, once it drops, it will actually awaken the chef, so we gotta quickly grab it and haul it as fast as we can back to this elevator. Depending on how the key bounces when it drops, this part can be quite unforgiving with how fast the chef will chase you. But if you do manage to escape down the elevator, we can take the key under this table and then go right through this hole in the wall this time, and if you do it right, you'll once again avoid detection by the other chef here, and this will result in a less stressful run to unlock the door to the next area. Now those are the easier strats for this section, but if you're feeling like taking on more risk, when starting in this area, you'll actually want to get the chef's attention, so he'll start chasing you around. You'll then want to bait him to try grabbing you under this table, and after he starts, taking the lower stairs to the right here will actually force him to take the path further in the background, and if you position 6 properly on the left here, move right once the chef makes his way up the stairs, and then time a slide at just the right time and angle. After failing to grab 6, the chef will turn a bit, and his belly will actually push 6 right through the wall, allowing you to clip into the next room. And this, of course, saves a ton of time.
Are you fucking
Otherwise
kidding me?
lose doing the stuff that we went over earlier. But yeah, I find this trick incredibly precise and risky. I was able to pull it off numerous
Are
times.
you fucking
sure,
kidding
personally,
me?
I don't think I'd ever have the stomach to actually try doing this in a run myself, as a very small timing or placement error can end up resulting in a big time sink if the trick fails and the chef ends up grabbing 6.
That's
Whichever
fucking
path you
crazy.
take, though, they'll both end up taking you to this next room that then leads to a sausage making room.
That's
But first,
so
we
crazy.
need some meat, so we have to take this dumbwaiter up to this
Wow,
refrigerated
dude.
room. In this room, we gotta get 2 more meat chunks of unknown origin to the trapdoor here. One is on the table right by the dumbwaiter, and then the other we have to climb this shelf and jump across some hooks to pull it down. Once all 3 meat chunks are in place, we can head back down, jump onto the table to reach this handle to open up the trapdoor above, and once the meat falls in place, we can turn this crank to grind it up and produce some nice sausage links that we can then grab onto to swing our way to the next vent.
This game is so creative.
Now this vent brings us to another...
I don't think I've ever seen in a game you have to drop meat into a sausage maker to make sausages to swing out of a room. You know? This game does a lot of... That's why I like these games so much. They do a lot of cool things that I don't think I've ever seen. Not only the disgusting and bizarre aesthetic, you know?
refrigerated area, and then we get over to this elevator room where the speedrun
Exactly.
splits once again like it did before.
Disgustingly creative
Now,
and
the
creatively
safest route
disgusting.
start with us giving the chef a little juke to quickly get onto the elevator, and then once up, we can hide in this vent as the chef chases us up here. Then, after the chef starts moving to the left, we can sneak right by him, climb onto the table, and try to grab the key. He can be a bit tough to avoid, but you can try baiting him under the table here, and that should clear you enough time to make it back onto the elevator to take it down. And thankfully, even if you do get caught here, the checkpoint isn't too far back, so you can try again pretty easily. On the other hand though, the slightly more risky trick we can do back down here is another belly clip, similar to the previous one. After the chef starts chasing you, you can sprint on over to the door on the right and once again dodge his grab with a well-timed slide. And if you do it at the right time and place, the chef's belly will push you on into the next room, and then he'll keep trying to chase you even though he's blocked by the door.
Wow.
Now, surprisingly enough, I find this belly clip to be much more consistent than the previous one. I don't know if it's just having more room here or something else, but yeah, this trick I find consistent enough at my skill level that I think it's worth trying in a speedrun, as it'll save all the time of having to take the elevator up and such. This will also give you more time to do this next trick in this room, as if you don't do the belly clip here, you'll only have one try before the chef catches up to you. So normally, you have to open up this garbage chute to take it down to avoid the chef. But if you run towards this pillow-looking thing and jump towards it and off of it at the right spot, this can actually give you enough height to reach the door handle to quickly make it into the next room. And here, we actually get to do a trick that, besides maybe the first belly clip, probably saves the most time in the speedrun. So after climbing up these pots and dishes on the shelf here, we can jump back above the door that we just came in through, and then go back and jump onto these shelves here. Then, while standing against the wall here, just under where the hooks pass by above, we'll actually want to time a jump and subsequent grab onto a hook at just the right time, and if you do, you'll actually clip right through this wall while still hanging on to the hook. It can be quite tricky to nail the timing of this, and if you miss it, at best, you'll just have to try again, but there's also a non-zero chance that you'll bonk off the wall, which will cause you to drop back down to the floor below, and this can be devastating in a speedrun, as the nearest checkpoint would be in the bottom of the garbage chute below. Anyways, if you
these
do
games
manage
hicks,
to clip through...
I obviously like watching a speedrun, whatever. These games are not easy. Some of the puzzles are quite tricky, but it's so easy to die. Especially these ones when you have the bosses like chasing you, it's so easy to die.
Here, the room will soon default to a low level of detail state, as we soon get teleported way across the room, as by holding onto the hooks, since I guess they get teleported to be reused all the way over here, so did we. And we can then let go of the hook, make our way back inbounds, and finish up the last chunk of the chef chase sequence here to grab onto another hook that takes us across another large gap. Doing this hook warp saves us a lot of time that would otherwise be wasted sneaking around the twins here, so it's definitely worth doing, as it's not all too difficult, and hey, it looks really cool to pull off too. Then after we make our way across, we can crawl through this crack, run across this massive pipe, and then after a lengthy ladder climb, we get blinded by light as we actually make it outside this ship or island or whatever it is that we're on called the Maw. And here we have a long climb up as we get a really nice visual of the outside world, and we see some new guests boarding the Maw from their own transport ship. Although this part is super cool to see the first few times, this novelty wears off pretty quickly when speedrunning this game, as it ends up being like 45 seconds of just climbing upwards. Anyways, eventually we make it to the top hole here and go back into the Maw, where after walking along this beam and getting a better look at the new guests below, we finally get to the end of the 3rd chapter. Chapter number 4 starts us off getting through this pipe that takes us to, I guess, an entrance that the newly arrived guests are going into. And after climbing up to the top here, we can jump across these hanging light fixtures to then enter the guest eating area that's absolutely filled with pies, fish, and meat likely made up of the bagged up bodies we saw in the earlier chapters. And here we basically just want to keep running to the right to escape the guests, who start foaming at the mouth at the mere sight of 6, and I guess we taste good enough for them to warrant breaking down their tables to start waddling after us. We then climb onto this table and
the first time I saw this,
to make a jump onto this lantern. Now normally you'd probably swing a few times here, but if you just hold right long enough, if you jump at the right time, you can actually like use the hitbox of the guest below you to help you along to the next
Get
ledge.
the fuck out of here.
It may look a bit scary, but honestly, this jump is pretty easy to do. Now in the next room, there's a small trick that you can try where by jumping towards these sausages here and then grabbing at just the right time, you can actually propel 6 right up onto the bar above to skip having to run to the right and then back. But I find this trick pretty hard to do personally, and I don't think I was ever able to pull this one off myself in an actual speedrun scenario. Anyways, getting to the end here, we can then jump across, climb the wall, make our way to the back section, avoid some more guests, and then use another lantern to swing across the gap here. Now in this next room, we can do another neat little trick. After sprint jumping a few times to get to this table here, after passing the guest that tries to grab us, we can start moving down a bit to completely dodge his grab, giving us ample time to squeeze through the next gap. And then in the next room, we have an elevator, where we get a surprise visit from none other than one of the chef twins. And here, by standing just to the right of the elevator as he comes down, if you move to the left, as soon as the chef starts moving, you can actually sneak right by him and escape up the elevator. And now we got another chase sequence, and here you'll want to keep doing sprint jumps as much as you can, as there's actually some triggers along the way that will instantly refill your stamina.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you just basically keep sprint jumping away from the mob of guests as their stampede causes furniture to collapse and such, before finally jumping onto yet another lantern to swing your way to safety. And then here in the next room with the wave artwork in the background, we actually have our last set of hunger trigger lines.
They probably killed me the most.
The first one is around this gap in the floorboards here, the second around this one, and then the final one is around this gap here in the next room, and just like that, congratulations! That's all of the hunger skips in Little Nightmares. This finally ends with us getting to the sausage in the middle of the room here.
Also, if you know you could
just ate the gnome instead. Okay then. And now for the final stretch of this chapter, we actually have one last trick that's quite tough to pull off. For this, it's best to switch to using a keyboard, as we'll need precise right movement to run along the back edge of the wall here, and then around this point you'll want to jump off while holding the right and down keys to then grab onto the ladder on the right here. If all done correctly, you'll start climbing high enough on this ladder that if you sprint jump across the next room, you'll actually get into the elevator with the lady just in time before it closes.
Hello!
Doing this skips having to go and grab an object to then throw it onto the button to call the elevator back, saving about 10 or so seconds. Unfortunately, this is another one of those tricks that falls under the "I've never been able to pull it off in a speedrun scenario" bucket for me. Anyways, getting onto the elevator wraps up the fourth chapter,
on with her.
and with the fifth and final chapter being rather short, the end of the speedrun is now on the horizon. And unfortunately, there aren't really any cool speedrun tricks or anything in this final chapter, as we basically just sprint our way up to where the lady is brushing her hair in front of a broken mirror, where we have to crouch walk our way across here, as even the sound of walking normally will cause her to bamboozle 6. And then in her room, we have to break open this vase to grab the key inside, carry it all the way back to this locked door here, go through a rather short little chase sequence, do some more running, and then pull a plank off this door to obtain an unbroken mirror, which then lets us start what is probably the most anticlimactic final boss battle I have ever played in a game. Here, some lights will shine down, indicating where you need to go, and then basically you just have to aim the mirror at the lady whenever she tries to get close to you. And I guess she hates the light or just looking at herself so much that this actually damages her. You have to beat her like this a total of 6 times in 4 different locations, but thankfully enough, the lights always shine in the same places in the same order, so by your second time doing this boss fight, it'll be an absolute walk in the park. And after the 6th and final beam, the lady is down for the count, and that is time for the speedrun. The game does keep going, for a while actually, as we end up turning the lady here into a midnight snack, and then sucking the life force out of a bunch of the guests in this hall here. But thankfully, the speedrun community has agreed to cut this part of the game out of the speedrun as it's incredibly long and doesn't really add anything to the run. So there you have it. With these tricks, in only a few days of running this game myself, I was able to bring my best time to 46 minutes and 51 seconds, which would currently put me around a not so impressive 140th on the leaderboards.
That's pretty good.
This is like a quarter of the 3 hours that it took me to beat this game on my first playthrough a month prior, so I'll take it as a win. And of course, with less deaths and mistakes, and being more comfortable with the riskier strats, top runners of this game have been able to shave down the world record time to just over half an hour, with the world record speedrun, as of the making of this video, being held by Moen with a load removed time of 32 minutes and 57 seconds. Now, as a newcomer to this series myself, I've really enjoyed this game, and although parts of the speedrun were incredibly frustrating for me, I'm definitely interested in exploring the series some more. So if you're interested in me checking out the speedruns for this game's DLC or its sequel, be sure to let me know. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out some of the other speedruns that I've covered, and be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to find your way back here in the future. And as always, thank you all so much for running with me today, by summoning salt. And I will see you in a bit.
I'm actually okay, Chris. It's once again, that was Tetrabit Gaming. So shout out to him for that really, really cool video. That's wild, dude. Some of those skips are insane. Like I said, we're gonna have to watch some more his videos. I recognize the name. But also, I have to end the stream, as I have to be up at 6 a.m., as you know. That was super fun. That was super, super fun. So I guess Lamau Xenoverse 2, we'll start that tomorrow. And I just moved my chat in preparation. So yeah, now I will upload this to YouTube, and I'll timestamp everything. I'll put the links to everything while it's uploading. That was so fun. Very Little Nightmares was very cool. The Nome Lore was cool. The speedrun was cool. Man, I'm totally into Little Nightmares right now, man. It's so sick. Thanks for spoiling. No problem, G. So yeah, tomorrow we'll actually start Xenoverse 2. Should be a lot of fun. Hope to see you there. Let me kill the YouTube recording and find somebody to raid.